Alright, welcome back to OMLN4. It's another batch of matches. We're gonna be having a very busy hour. It's time for the actual content. No more morning matches. So now we'll be on actually still morning matches, but not like midnight matches. So there will be around 9 hours of matches in this block. So it's gonna be very exciting. And we'll be starting on possibly going to be the most dominated matches left, which is going to be the second seeded Pavin versus the 63rd seed Dyei. And I am Yongin, and joining with me today, we got none other than the host, Polly. Hello, how are you doing, Polly?
Hello, I'm doing fine. I was sick yesterday, but I am still sick today, but it's okay. I do anything for my tournament.
Let's go. We do the grinding. We do the grinding.
Yes, we continue the grind like the stream BGM, if y'all notice.
Yeah, I'm also grinding my Mania experience. My third match ever in Mania, so hopefully it works out well. But this is going to be possibly the most dominated matches, seeing Pavin versus Dyei. Second seeded and 63rd. I mean, that's like a second biggest seeded seeding difference, and I would say these two players have clearly a different skill level. One of the few that I would say so. Pavin basically all around strong, average 990k in the qualifiers, and they struggling a little bit of the maps. So hopefully the easier pool does make him a bit more confident this time.
Yeah, we all know that Pavin's a really top tier MWC player in the current MWC 2025, one of the main carries of Team Thailand in this tournament in MWC. So I think we're definitely gonna see a lot of great performances from him all around in this tournament. As for Dyei, I would say he's I think someone that I recognize from past 4-digit Mania World Cups, as well as some other community tournaments like Speed of Light. Usually coming in as a regular for the earlier stages. I would say he's still a very proficient and very experienced tournament player in Mania, so I would say he definitely still stands a chance in terms of consistency, especially like as you mentioned in the early game.
Yeah, definitely, but he's gonna be going against a very rough match this time, and the bans and picks ran out extremely quickly here. But we do see they basically opting for protecting Technical 2 and Pavin opting to protect the Density 3, I do believe. And we're gonna be seeing our first pick here from Pavin, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, it should be. And as we speak, it seems like our beloved main commentator for this match, Potassium F, is now in the call. Hello, Pade.
Hello, hello. Home just in time for the first map, it looks like here.
You're just catching time. So yeah,
Okay.
we're gonna say thanks for Polly for stepping up or trying to cover us, but for now, we'll be switching on to me and Potassium, I guess, and going for our first map of the match. Funny.
Yeah, two really strong players here. Pavin in particular, one of the highest seeds of this tournament, I do believe. So this one being Dyei's first pick. So far, looking strong for both players. Pavin with that little bit of an ACK lead, though, 99.92 is very impressive for a map like this.
Trying to go for a consistency route, and yep, my apologies, there is actually going to be Dyei's pick, and yeah, going for something that is more comfy, is more regular style. I would say is usually what the lower seeded players go for nowadays. It's not only just Mania, not only from other modes, same in Mania, but yeah, for now, 99.91 versus 99.69, so still all huge accuracy difference in favor of Pavin.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't really look that big on the score, like only 2,000 points doesn't seem like a lot, but the difference between 99.9 and 99.7 is a really big one when you look at the comfort and the ratio levels between the two teams. And it's going to be up to Pavin, really, to make a mistake to give Dyei the lead. Because right now, both players looking fairly stable in terms of their accuracy. It's not changing much over time.
Yep. Still, basically the same accuracy difference, and Pavin is kind of building up a stronger lead as there are more maps and possibly even one miss ahead of Dyei just through an accuracy difference. We did see him drop a slightly bit of ac, but that tiny bit of mistake is not going to be mattering.
Yeah, still at that 99.9, Pavin really refusing to make any kind of slip up there. Dyei's still 99.66, still holding the full combo. But definitely now as we're approaching the last quarter of the map, feels like time is running out, and Dyei's really hoping that Pavin finds a miss at some point, because this lead is only growing over time now, hitting 6,000 points.
Yeah, this is what happens when you're up against one of the highest seed of the tournament. You basically have to guarantee a 99.9 on like the first stage pool to even take a point, or hope that they miss, but they're not making these giant mistakes even on seemingly on a pretty big margin of seeding difference match. Still doing with a very strong 98.89 there. They just hit a 200 there, so a bit of a misjudgment, but again, that tiny bit of misjudgment is not going to be flickered towards the lead, and it's going to be a almost 5-digit score difference just based on accuracy. So a very strong start here from Pavin's pick, from Dyei's picks.
Yeah, Dyei's pick, this is a breakpoint early on and a crazy ratio from Pavin on a map that really, you're not supposed to get a ratio like that on. That should be one of the hardest maps in the pool to get a good accuracy, which kind of scares me a little bit for what Pavin's going to pull off with some of these other maps that are getting picked.
Yeah, and instantly going for something that he protects, density free, so not wasting any time here, going for something that he thinks he has the strongest potential on, strongest advantage on. The density free pick, basically the quote-unquote speed pick of the pool, fastest and highest in terms of BPM. And I would say this map is quite comfy, like not that much different, not that much technical expert on the map. It's mostly about can you hold on some of the denser patterns throughout the map.
Yeah, absolutely. Much less, I guess, tricky as far as the releases are concerned compared to the coordination, but definitely much faster. So we're going to see that density kick up a notch, but I don't think players of this caliber are going to particularly feel too uncomfortable with that. And we can see that right out the gates, both players doing very well with the accuracy. Pavin once again with a bit of a lead.
Now, we did see Pavin drop a bit of a 200 right before the focus starts to kick in. So still a bit of a slight judgment, but it's not going to matter as once again he's around 0.2% above Dyei. And Dyei needs a much breaking mistake here from Pavin to even take a tiny bit of an advantage here.
Yeah, already this lead growing over time. Pavin once again 99.9. and Dyei on that 99.6. So 0.3% difference, quite large at this kind of level of accuracy.
Yeah, we usually don't see a 5-digit score difference from full accuracy, but I guess that's what happens when it comes from player with such a big seeding difference. And I mean, Dyei himself is not exactly a newcomer to tournaments either. I mean, I would say almost every player in this tournament are not really a newcomer. He still did play a bit of like 4-digit Mania World Cup, if I'm not mistaken, but against such a high caliber of like Mania World Cup and even like top 3able Mania World Cup players, it's just a very hard match to go through. And there goes a score V1 double S from Pavin here.
Yeah, almost a 997k on that, the clean 99.9, and I mean that's why Pavin was protecting that one. A comfortable map, it looks like, for Pavin, and not really much Dyei could do. Very nice full combo, only 4 200s there. You can't really expect much more out of Dyei, but unfortunately not enough when he's up against seed number 2.
And there goes Dyei's pick, and he is going to be picking his protect, which is going to be the Earth instant pick as well from them. So they are really probably have not much of an option to pick through, and going for something that is more technical rather than, I would say, mechanics required. And this map's still a bit fast though, despite with the 128 BPM. There's a lot of swaps between 1/3 and 1/4. Usually you call these sounds. I usually call this artist 2Ls to be polyrhythm, but in terms of polyrhythm, I'll say this is actually a bit simple in terms of the polyrhythm aspect, mostly focusing on the swing and 1/4 swaps and 5/4 time signatures as well. And there's also a bit of speed up sessions in the ending because the song technically is more like in the double BPM. After all, it's an OWC song and it's kind of like the bursty, weird map for OWC.
Yeah, no. I think this pick definitely makes a lot of sense here for Dyei. We can see the only really opportunity that Jay is going to get a point is if Pavin does find a miss. The accuracy well in favor of Pavin, and this is a map where some of these shields that we're going to be seeing starting already here, very easy to choke on.
But both players are not really finding a big drop in terms of combo here. Still only some accuracy drops from Dyei, and however the map is not challenging Pavin at all. Still on the 99.9 again, like possibly every single map in the pool. Might gonna be seeing another another score on double S as he can keep up the challenge.
Jade actually dropping an accuracy a little bit, struggling to keep up the accuracy when it comes to these shields that we're seeing. In 99.4, fair but behind, and there's a miss from Dyei actually as well. This lead is going to balloon in favor of Pavin more and more. It's already 16,000 points.
And already a 5-digit score difference, and you don't really see that often in Mania, especially 1v1 tournament. But Pavin just completely destroying Dyei's pick, and possibly unfortunate slip up from Dyei here.
There is the miss from Pavin, but it was much cleaner overall. So the strategy from Dyei did kind of work out in a way. It did give a little bit of an opportunity, a bit of a choke from Pavin, but unfortunately this accuracy is just way too high. It is still going to be an exceptional score there.
Even with the miss, he still got a 989,000 points difference. That's an absolutely monstrous ratio coming from Pavin here. That one miss is extremely clean, not really dropping anything else outside of that one misjudgment, one miss over there, and flat out accuracy just secures the point for Pavin.
Yeah, second break point already in this match. Pavin is running away with it a little bit, and you can imagine he's going to go very quick actually into Cat Chase, another one of these technical picks. This one may be a little bit less combo focused though, so maybe Pavin just picking a little bit safer from his end, trying to pick ones that he can comfortably get those FCs.
And there's a bit of a mini density burst scattered through in the key eyes, and a bit of a density spikes in the ending as well, but again, it's more about the accuracy because this is another swing map. This is a very one-thread heavy zone, so accuracy is extremely important in a map like this, and some of these technical aspects may give Dyei a bit of a trouble because there's a lot of difficult snapping release due to how strong emphasis on the 1/3 is in the song.
Yeah, absolutely. Already we're seeing the same story again this map compared to the other ones there. Pavin with some exceptional accuracy. Dyei a little bit further behind, still good accuracy on 99.7. That keeps him in it for now, but definitely going to be a big ask to be able to catch up to Pavin's act of 99.92.
Yeah, you can see Pavin is basically getting Rainbow 300 most of the time, and Dyei is actually going to be achieving a lot of yellow 300s on his side, and that's going to be dropping the score lead a bit more, but that's kind of be expected from Pavin's pick. And on to 1,000 combo. Not much has changed though since the start.
And Pavin's been consistent with holding these 99.9s, not dropping much accuracy throughout the map. Dyei has slowly been losing that ac over time. Hard to be able to maintain the high ratio for a long time here. 0.3% difference in the accuracy is 6,000 points.
Need a miss from Pavin, but He did give one, but look at the score difference. It's once again close to 5-digit score difference, already on 8,000 points. Maybe a miss from Pavin was still not enough to give it to Dyei here. So need a huge chain misses from Pavin to even have a chance on Dyei's. Yeah, not looking too well, but after all, it's Pavin's pick, and you're up against the second seed. Not much you could have done in this case.
Yeah, just absolutely no opportunity here for Dyei to get a point. Pavin absolutely relentless with these scores here. Going to be able to get almost another 99.9 score. Oh, it's flicking up.
Almost, but
996.
unfortunately, it wasn't enough. But still, what a score from Pavin. 99.89.
You just can't do anything. Yeah, if you're Dyei here, you look at the scoreboards and you're just like, oh well. what can you do? Laugh it off a little bit, but is Pavin on match point already?
Not an instant pick from Pavin here. Probably knew how this match is gonna end up, so just gonna say I'm just gonna pick a banger. And Pavin as well, also saying that he will be switching a skin to play with this map. So that's what happens when it comes to like high seed difference match. And both players are just want to have fun. In this case, possibly picking a song that he likes, Density 1. It's actually gonna be the first time I ever see this map on stream for me personally. So not the most popular pick so far in the entire weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see which maps end up being popular or not. This one being the density pick that maybe is the least fast, a bit slower compared in BPM compared to the other density picks, but this one also with a much higher emphasis on kind of those weird releases at times. There is a bit of a coordination focus on this one as well, which is why maybe some people have been avoiding it a little bit.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. My other most experience is kind of similar to gives actually similar result in Mania, where people kind of avoid the lowest BPM maps in general. Something like Coordination 1 is kind of just get ignored most of the time, not being picked. No one likes playing slow maps, but again, they actually is very close in this one, despite saying that I'm just gonna pick a banger, and still close to Pavin, and the first time not out around only 3-digit scoring difference.
Yeah, 99.8 is a really strong accuracy right now from Dyei, keeping fairly close, all things considered, compared to Pavin here. Definitely within striking distance. If Pavin does find a big mistake somewhere, Dyei is close enough to be able to catch up, but Pavin still looking at that 99.92 at the halfway mark already at the map.
Here's a break session with some inverse, and we'll be transitioned back to the chorus very soon. And get some
bit of an act drop there from Dyei, a couple 200s dropping down to 99.7, but still keeping close relatively.
Probably still within striking distance, but as the time runs out, and might not be any chance for Dyei to come back. He's gonna drop a few more misjudgments over there. 99.92 versus 99.69, almost back to how this match is looking. Time has been running out.
Yeah, not a very long map this one, and we're already in the last little section. Dyei has to hope for something really soon. A mistake from Pavin is the only thing that can really give this point away. 99.91 still. Dyei still holding on. 99.66. Slowly slipping the accuracy, but maintaining that full combo. There goes Pavin. That's a miss, but I think it's a little bit too late.
Oh, that was so close, but unfortunately, the misses were, I would say, on pretty lucky combo, not reaching the combo cap. So that miss did not hurt as much, and also it wasn't like an extremely nasty miss, but you can look at the ratio once again, basically 3 times less of the yellow 300s from Pavin compared to Dyei, and that's all the difference. They try his best on his picks. Yeah, GG well played, but unfortunately this is what happens when it comes to extremely big seeding difference match.
Yeah, I mean, props to Dyei though, managing to FC I think 4 out of the 5 maps there, only missing once. In fact, I think Pavin missed more than Dyei in that match. But yeah, the accuracy difference just being so extreme in favor of Pavin because of those ratios. And well, it'll be interesting to see how Jay performs in the lower bracket. Still going to get a chance to be able to beat some of these other players in the tournament, while Pavin does move forward in the winners bracket.
Yeah, probably not even shaky at all. May not even be that shaky on next week as well. Look at some of those crazy ratios.